Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this eye look using the Nars Skin Deep palette. I'm so sorry that mine is dirty, but I had lotion all over my hands, and this is the kind of packaging that when you touch it with lotion on your hands, you're gonna get all those imprints on it. But even if that happens, this palette is such a phenomenal palette. It's just so beautiful. It's got so many shades in there, which are neutral, cool, and then there are some warm tones right here. But I have to say that every shade that I use in here is so beautiful. It is just so easily blendable. There's so much pigmentation in these shadows, and they just look so nice on the eyes. Now, I came up with this eye look on a whim. I had not done any swatches prior to actually applying the shadows on my eyelids. So you will see in the video where I do apply this shadow right here, and then I'm like, oops, because it's really, really dark. I actually expected it to look a little bit lighter, only because it looks more bronzy in the palette. I thought it would come off like more of a light brown, like a bronzy color, but either way, it came off beautifully. I love the way this eye look turned out. And yeah, so I'm digging this palette. It's so nice. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into the eye tutorial. I do want to point something out. I did cut my hair. As you guys can see, it is like short. It is a lot shorter than it was. If you saw my Revlon hair tutorial, you'll see in that video that my hair was super long. Well, I just got brave and went ahead and cut it, and I actually like it. I really do. It feels a lot lighter. It doesn't feel as heavy, and I really did good by cutting off all the damaged ends, because you guys know that I bleach my hair. And honestly, now that I'm shorter, I do want to go more blonde. But anyway, I want to go ahead and start the eye tutorial, so let's just go ahead and get into that. Okay guys, I've already primed my eyes with the MAC 24-hour extended eye base. So I'm going to go in with this shade here, this cream color, and then just go over it with a Morphe M441 and just kind of put that all over the lid. This vanilla shade is really pigmented. Pretty. So I want to do more of a neutral eye today, so I'm going to go in with this next shade, which is this shade here. The shades are on the back. The first shade I went into was called Taunt, and then now I'm going into this shade, which is called Undressed, and I'm using a Sigma Blending E25 brush. It's the smaller version, so I'm going to use that in my crease. Wow, that's pigmented. So I'm just going in my crease and above my crease on the brow bone. I have to put some lotion on my hands. My hands are super dry. I put lotion on my hands all the time, and it just never fails. They get super, super dry. Anyway, let's get back to the tutorial. I'm gonna go ahead and go into this shade here. It's called, let's see. This one is called, I think this one's called Unbuttoned. And I'm actually going to put that just all over my lid. And I'm gonna go in with a MAC 247. Uh-oh, that is dark. I wasn't expecting to do a smoky eye today, but that's okay. As you can see right there, it looks a lot lighter in the palette than it's coming off. Look at this, look how dark it is. I'm gonna lighten up the center of my lid with something else. It's still a beautiful, beautiful shade. And I have not swatched this yet, so that's why I'm unfamiliar with how the colors come off, but I will be showing swatches at the end of this video. So I'm trying to just put that all over the lid, and then I'm gonna go in with the Sigma blending brush. I'm just gonna blend that crease so those two colors can just come together. You wanna make sure you blend really well, because this is a dark shade going into a light shade. You want to make sure you blend that crease really, really well so that it can look like it fades into that light shade. You don't want it to be contrasting, you know what I mean? So you want to be able to do that so that it can just kind of open the eye up. So sometimes it takes a lot of blending, but when it's done, it comes out beautifully. So that's really pretty. I do have some dark shadow on the inside of my eye, but I'll clean that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the other eye. So you could leave it like this if you wanted to, but honestly, I want to brighten up the center of the eye a little bit because really I'm not going anywhere but to Target. I mean, I can't help it. It's going to look glam today, so it's okay. I don't mind. I am experiencing a little bit of fallout, not much. Now I'm going to take that same brush. I think this shade is called Centerfold. I think that's correct. It's very hard to tell, guys, what the shades are because it seems like the sticker's on backwards. I just can't tell what the bottom shades are. So it's either Centerfold or Bally, one or the other. And I'm gonna take that same brush, I cleaned it off on a towel, and I'm gonna put that on the center of my eyelid, just to give it a pop. Do the same thing on this side, and then go in with this brush again, and just kind of blend the edge of that. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a Q-tip and kind of clean just this inner corner up, just gently clean it up. And then I'm gonna take a smaller brush, just this one by Lamora. It's just a little pencil brush. So I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is either Basic Instinct or Faster Pussycat. I don't know which one it is, but it's the lighter shade, this one right here. And then I'm just gonna go into the inner corner and highlight that inner corner so it doesn't look so dark. I'm gonna wipe off the little bit of fallout that I had. I didn't have much fallout, guys. It's just a tiny bit. I'm gonna go back in with this exact blend brush, E32 by Sigma. It's just a small blending brush. I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade here, which I started with, which is Undressed. So I do know that shade. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my lower lash line. I'm going to get my eyelashes done here soon because these eyelashes are just like all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and go into this shade right here, and it's either Bally or Centerfold. I think it's Bally. And I'm going to take that same brush, I'm going to just tap it in there a little bit, and then I'm going to go closer to the lash line with this one because it's way darker than Undressed. Because the eyes are so dark and bold, I'm going to go ahead and go in with this Physicians Formula Butter Blush. It's in the shade Natural Glow. I don't know if this one's going to show up. If it doesn't, it's okay because the eyes are so bold today. So I want to go ahead and kind of tone everything down. That's the shade there. Very, very light, very natural. I'm going to use just this e.l.f. blush brush. Wow, this is really not showing up. But do you see how glowy that is? It's like a nice soft highlight. So I'm still gonna keep it because it's so pretty and it just highlights those cheekbones really well. So I'm gonna go in with the Milani Petal Primavera blush. It's this one here. This one is also light, but it actually shows on my skin very well. So I'm gonna take that same brush. See, that is so pretty. And it's perfect for this eye look. It doesn't look like too much on the skin. This blush is so pretty. Since I don't need highlight, I've already got that natural blush from the Physicians Formula. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips. So for lips, I'm going in with this YSL number 70. It is the Gold Attraction Edition. I'm not sure if they still have these out. I've had this lipstick for a little while. I just haven't had time to use it, but look at this packaging, y'all. Look how gorgeous that is. So this is the shade here. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with the Bobbi Brown Cocoa Liner. I'm gonna go in with the lipstick. Ooh, this is so emollient. It feels really, really good on the lips. I think this is the perfect shade for this look. So I love the lipstick. So I'm gonna use the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara for my bottom lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my hair and then I'll be right back. So let me get into some information about the palette. The palette is $59. I did purchase mine at Nordstrom, but they do have it at Sephora. And I'm gonna read to you just a little bit of information about this palette. So this palette contains 12 eyeshadows, 3.5 grams each. I will be showing you in a second the swatches of this eyeshadow palette. So let me just read to you what it says on the Sephora website. It says, an ultimate multi-use palette created for all skin tones with 12 neutral shades to define, line, and highlight eyes and brows. And I would say that not all the shades in here are neutral. Like I said, there are some warm tones here, right here in the center. So yeah, I don't think all of them are neutral to me. For the most part, they are, but there are some warm shades in there. It says here, what else you need to know? Expose yourself to the ultimate palette of nude shadows. Go from subtle to smoky with rich mattes, lustrous shimmers, and smoldering metallic shadows. Nars' pigment powder suspension technology delivers incredible payoff via pigments suspended in an innovative liquid binding system to create rich, long-wearing, high-impact color in one stroke. Each shadow can be used in a multitude of ways for a variety of Francois Nars' signature looks. Eyes and brows get shaded and lined, highlighted and defined because natural is anything but neutral. I did find it difficult throughout the video, if you noticed, that I could not determine what shade was what. So if you look back here, on the back where the big shades, the big pans, their names are at the top. So that was pretty easy. The names that are at the bottom, I didn't know whether if I read them, whether it was the first one or the second one, I couldn't tell. So I did go on the internet and looked up the swatches on Google. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these for you guys, like right here on the back of my hand, and then I'll tell you the names as I'm swatching them. So the first shade I'm gonna swatch is Taunt. This creamy shade right here. It's like a vanilla shade. The next shade is called Sophia. So the next one is Whipped. The next one here is Undressed. That's the one that I used in my crease. Those are actually the big pan shades. So now we're gonna start on this row right here, and we're gonna start with this shade here. And that shade is called Bally. That's the shade right there. The next shade is called Icon. You can barely see it, but it's like a nude, kind of nude shimmer. The next shade's called Basic Instinct. And that one's really pretty. It's kind of like a pink shimmer. It's right there. And the last shade on that row is called Coconut Grove. And it's a very dark brown. So that is that second row. So now we're gonna go into this row here. This first shade is called Centerfold. That's the shade right there. The next shade is called Calendar Girl. This one like is more of a bronzy shade. The next shade is called Faster Pussycat. And then the last shade is the shade that I thought was bronzy and it wasn't, and it's called Unbuttoned. Still a gorgeous shade. Okay guys, so those are all the swatches. And I will say that when swatching this palette, that when I put my finger into those shades, any shade that I put my finger into to swatch, it felt liquidy. It had like a liquid consistency, but it's a weird feeling. It's not like creamy, I don't know, it's not cushiony. It just has like that liquid feel. I guess that goes back to where it said that it's incredible payoff via pigment suspended in an innovative liquid binding system to create rich, long-wearing, high-impact color in one stroke. So I remember when I read that and then I started swatching, I felt like that liquid technology. It was really weird, but it feels really good. So whatever that technology is, it makes them very creamy, very pigmented, and easily blendable. This palette is so good. So if you're looking for a really good neutral palette that you just want to be able to use like on a daily basis, this is probably going to be the palette to go for because you can do so many looks with this palette. I can't wait to use it more and more. Today I did a smoky eye look, but I plan on doing something a little bit more subtle tomorrow when I do use this. It's just a gorgeous palette and I'm really, really impressed with it. I'm really happy that I purchased it. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and thanks again for being here and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.